I fell in love with Jim because he was a Samaritan. He was the Good Samaritan. We were both ministering to a friend of ours who had a terrible, terrible time at the end, dying of AIDS. And this man's right leg had become so wounded and diseased. The stench of it was overwhelming. Like nothing, I've smelled corpses, but nothing like this. The nurses at St. Mary's Hospital wouldn't even change the dressing at the end. So there, of course, was Jim. I was gagging, and Jim was doing what Good Samaritans do. It's like being married to St. Francis. I tell you, I had this sympathy for Claire, We're walking along a beach somewhere, and he's in the south of France, and he sees a wounded bird, and the whole day comes to a stop. We have to find a place to take the wounded. The bird doesn't even want us to hold it. He starts biting me. Every time I look at Francis, I think of Jim, and I think it is not easy to be married to that. Jim used to own. I told the story at the call to action. It's a true story about Jim. He was horrified that I told it to them. I'll tell it to you. Tough luck, Jim. My lover. He used to own a bookstore over on Tillman Place, which is a little alley off of Grant Avenue. It's a really good bookstore. He used to have very, very good customers. Amazon didn't kill us. It was that readers died off. We didn't have the same readers. We used to have wonderful readers. There was a carriage trade bookstore downtown, and there was old women who would come in who didn't go to college, but there were socialites, old society dames, and they would read very widely. French history books, Japanese horticulture. The daughter who went to college went to a terrible place like Wellesley. She'd come in and she would read only British mystery novels. The granddaughter who went to Stanford, even a more dreadful place. She didn't even read British mystery novels. She would come in and buy at Christmas time these picture books like Bruce Weber and his dogs. Anyway, the old lady died and the bookstore died. But before the bookstore died, Jim helped it along. There was a man, a panhandler. So there I was at 4 o'clock in the morning at the American Colony Hotel, which is right next to this very small mosque. And at 4 in the morning, the green neon lights in the minaret, and this old man begins his chant. God is great. There is no God but God. And the birds flutter. I wake up, of course, in the dark. There is nothing stirring by the swimming pool where T.E. Lawrence used to play soccer with some of the Arab boys, Lawrence of Arabia, when he was in the region. Jim sleeps through it. Jim sleeps like a saint. He is untroubled. I am wide awake listening to this old man. He sounds like he's talking into his beard.